Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Fitri Aulia Rahmah and you can call me Aulia. In this video, I'm going to explain one important topic in linguistic, which is pragmatic. In linguistic, language is not only studied as sounds or grammar, but also as a tool for communication. Pragmatics focus on how people use language in real situations and how meaning is understood based on context. In these explanations, I will discuss about what is pragmatics, how meaning works in real communications, speak act, why pragmatics is important, and the last is what the difference between pragmatics and semantic. What is pragmatics? Pragmatics is the branch of linguistics that studies meaning in context. It is concerned with how speakers use language and how listeners interpret meaning beyond the literal words. Unlike semantics, which studies meaning in a more abstract way, pragmatics looks at the situation of communication, the relationship between speakers, and the intention behind an utterance. For example, when someone says, "It's cold in here," semantically, this sentence describes the temperature, but pragmatically, the speaker may be requesting someone to close a window or turn off the air conditioner. So, this shows that the meaning depends not only on words, but also on context.
If you ask, "Is it raining?" when I come inside soaking wet, and I say, "Great job, Sherlock," you'll probably assume that I'm being sarcastic rather than giving you a compliment. Or if you ask me, "Can you close the window?" I'll probably interpret your question as a polite request rather than a question about my physical ability.
In pragmatics, it is important to distinguish between literal meaning and intended meaning. Literal meaning refers to the dictionary meaning of words. Intended meaning refers to what the speaker actually wants to communicate. For example, "Can you pass the salt?" Literally, this is a question about ability. However, in real communication, it is understood as a polite request. People often use indirect language to sound polite, respectful, or friendly. And pragmatics help us understand these indirect meanings correctly. Another important concept in pragmatics is speak act. Speak act theory explains that when people speak, they are not only saying words, but also performing actions. There are three levels of speak acts. First, locutionary act, which is the actual sentence spoken. And the second, illocutionary act, which is the speaker's intention. Third, perlocutionary act, which is the effect of the utterance on the listener. For example, when a lecturer says, "You can submit your assignment tomorrow," the locutionary act is the sentence itself. The illocutionary act is giving permissions, and the perlocutionary act is that students feel relieved or decide to submit later. So everyone, shows that language functions as actions is communications. Context is a key element in pragmatics. The meaning of an utterance can change depending on who is speaking, who is listening, where the conversation takes place, and how the sentence is delivered.
If I give you an example, if someone asks you, please close the window, the invisible meaning of the person asking is that the person is freezing or that it is too noisy outside, depending on the situation.
So, for example, if I hear noises outside during the utterance, please close the window, the invisible meaning which is not being spoken is that it is too noisy.
Yeah, exactly.
Without understanding context, communications may lead to misunderstanding. Pragmatics help us interpret meaning more accurately in social interaction. Now, let's see what the difference about pragmatics and semantics.
And textual grammar. Semantics and pragmatics deal with meaning. Semantics is the study of meaning in language. Pragmatics considers the meaning in social contexts and the ways people produce and comprehend meanings through language, or what people mean by the language they use. Note that semantics is context-free. On the other hand, pragmatics is context-dependent. Let's check the following two examples. Example 1, Peter says, coming down to the pub tonight? Bill says, I've got to finish a piece of work. The semantic meaning is, Bill's reply just informs Peter he has a piece of work to finish. The pragmatic meaning is, Bill's reply will normally be taken to indicate that he is not free to go to the pub, even though he does not actually say that. Example 2, there's a new Korean restaurant on Voti South Street. The semantic meaning is, the speaker simply informs the hearer of the new Korean restaurant on Voti South Street. The pragmatic meaning is, the speaker suggests trying that new restaurant. In other words, we can say semantic meaning is the sentence meaning, or word meaning. It is what a sentence, or a word, means, or what it counts as the equivalent in the language concerned. Pragmatic meaning is the speaker meaning. It is what a speaker means, or intends to convey, when he uses a piece of language. In summary, semantics is the study of meaning in language, sentence meaning, or word meaning. And it is context-free. Pragmatics considers the meaning in social contexts, or speaker meaning. And it is context-dependent.
In short, semantics focus on meaning, but pragmatics focus on meaning in use. Why pragmatics is important? Pragmatics is important because it helps people communicate politely, understand implied meaning, avoid misunderstanding, and interact effectively in society. In daily life, people rarely say everything directly. Therefore, understanding pragmatics is essential for successful communication. The conclusion is pragmatics is the study of how meaning is created through the context, intention, and interaction. It shows us that language is not only a system of rules, but also a tool for real communication. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.